Hey, look at that, I pushed the button and it didn't work. Hello everybody, my name's TJ. I fixed that. Thank you for letting me know so that we didn't go the whole day with it, and now we have got it figured out. So, thank you. And we're going to keep moving forward. Now, interestingly enough, here on this Friday evening where I will be doing some solo casting, we are going to be moving forward with the idea that this Friday night is in fact fantasy football draft night to my knowledge, which means that it's fairly slim crowd out there. Now, after talking to our phenomenal legacy players, which may be trickling in at the moment, but otherwise we are going to be getting them doing some play testing, doing some feature matches, and doing some exhibition matches for you all for us to talk over and have a good time with. So, we're going to power forward with this, have some fun with it, and make it work nonetheless. But the audio should be working. If it is good, let me know. And in the meantime, hello to Mercury, Red Baron MTG, which was me on my phone in the chat. Astrid Glitter Doodle, it is good to see you again. I believe it is your second time joining us here. Thank you so much for returning. And hello to Slowly Crashing. It is always good to see you. Dutch253, thank you so much. And to the other, what was that? I named what? So, to the other 10-ish people out there, hello and welcome. Bruce Spy, it is good to see you. Been a while since I've seen you in here. Hope you are doing well. I don't have a bow tie tonight, but eventually I do see that you have your own bow ties lately. Let me know if that's something that I can get my hands on, because that bow tie is sweet. But I hope that you are doing well and having a fantastic evening. So, it's going to be a good day. It's a Friday. It's a... nice. So we've got some legacy players moving over. Now Justin Hester is in the house after he has been away for a little bit. I apologize to everybody for the lack of a legacy stream last week. It was a very unexpected thing.
We're sitting down now.
Okay, who are you?
Josh.
Who's on what?
What are you playing, Josh?
And we are going to find out what we've got. So, we're going to jump into it. In the meantime, I think I know who it is. Oh, do you have enough?
I believe so.
Alright, it looks like we are going to have it. There we go. Could you just keep me updated?
Yeah.
Alright, so we actually might have enough for it, and we might not have to do the exhibition matches. And I did see something in there to me. Hey, thank you so much. A ton. I hope that you are enjoying it. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and I'm going to keep on doing it. Now, we did get denied for Twitch partnership. That means that, of course, we are going to reapply in 2 weeks and keep bothering them. So, let's see if it goes. We're going to try and put on a good show. I know that tonight we are competing with, I mean, despite it being the replay, a fairly big stream being the Invitational, which was, you know, a significant stream. But hopefully, nonetheless, we'll have some fun and make it a good night, watch some sweet Legacy, and make it happen. I'm solo casting today, so please bear with me, because I'm going to power through it. I'm going to talk a bunch, and I'm going to basically do all the roles, and we're going to make it happen. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be a good time. I'm excited, and I hope that you're all doing well. In the meantime, it's time for me to ask you.
We have a
all-
match and I have a bye. Do you want me to come in?
Sure.
Okay. There is a bye, so I don't know if you want to do. Whoever has the bye comes in and helps, or depends on who it is. I
You're welcome to join us. Okay, so we are apparently getting what our first round match is. Justin
guess.
is
This
going
is
to hop
Joe's
in.
opponent's list.
That's my list. There.
Huh. Okay. Okay. This is it's called Med. He handed me out a green piece of paper. Fantastic. All right, so we're getting that lined up, and there we go. I know who we've got. We've got Eric, who has been playing some unusual decks in the past. Today, he is coming to us with a deck which appears to be, this looks like, I mean, it's got Jace. It's basically a rainbow deck. It's running Gemstone Mines, Tendo Ice Bridges, Mana Confluence, City of Brass, Grand Colosseum, Reflecting Pools, Tarnished Citadels. So this should be interesting. It's got like Abrupt Decay. So it seems to be entirely based around just playing whatever cards he wants and not worrying about the mana base, because we've also got Stone. Okay, so this is
Hello.
I'm for the value of not explaining like what that deck title is every time it comes up.
What?
I'm just gonna call it 5
Rainbow
color
Magic?
value. And then what's Joe on today? Justin, it's been a while since Justin's been in the booth. So hello, let me know how you're doing in the evening, and let me know what you did last Friday night when you
Enchantress.
weren't. Justin, you got me Enchantress on the feature camera.
That's fine.
That's
They were standing and we needed a feature match, and everybody else was sitting. So
okay. Hey, well, let's focus on the other one. It's going to be a good one. Genvom, it's great to see you. Kyle DeBon, whichever one that you are more comfortable with, but Grixis Control is probably better right now. Kiora.
And what?
Koth wins. I like it. I think Infect is the best deck in Modern at least the moment, but I think that Grixis Control will be better positioned if everybody's still playing Jund and Jeskai and things like that.
I agree. Infect is probably the best deck.
So, let's head on down. It's going to be round 1, and we're going to talk a little bit about this deck. Alright, so we've got Justin with us in the booth.
Hello, I have the bye,
This is Justin.
so I'll be here for this round. And if I drop, potentially following rounds.
There we go. Now you are going to be playing Miracles, so drawing
Yes.
is certainly a possibility for you.
Well, yes, technically.
Alright, so this 5-color value deck, let's talk a little bit about that one.
Well, hold on, I gotta look at the deck first.
So the mana base, all 5-color. You've got cards like
Alright.
one of. Well, I gotta show this one just because it's a card that you will likely never get the chance
Discovered
to see
Paradise?
again. Undiscovered Paradise.
Yeah, that's a vintage card.
Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. At the beginning of your next untap, it does. It returns to your hand.
Yeah, that's plain vintage.
Oh man. So other than that, you're looking at a creature base of.
Yeah, he's got a Stoneforge Mystic package.
And that Stoneforge package is just grabbing a one. There's Batterskull and Jitte. You've got 2 Dark Confidants, a Thrun, a Vendilion Click.
He's playing Counterspell and Hymn to Turok.
Yes, 2 Counterspell.
You're good.
He's running for him 2 Counterspell, a Skeletal Scrying, 4 Lightning Bolt.
Jace,
Brain- This deck is all over the
his
place.
sideboard's good too. 4 Miss Mind Break Trap, 4 Gerald's Verdict.
Look at Mr. Yakushi. Is he on the legendary Pile Blade?
Alright, so here's the problem, the biggest problem with this deck, and I'm being serious.
Okay.
He's playing Brainstorm and he does not have a single fetch land.
No, I completely agree.
Like, that is...
I think that was a little bit of an overstep. I think at that point I would prefer 4 Ponders and 4 Preordains, if anything.
Yes, I agree. In a deck like this, though, I do not think you want to play either.
Well,
or any sort
this
yes.
deck is all over the place. So we've got a Utopia Sprawl onto the basic
and you definitely
forced
do not want to be
from
doing
Joe,
this.
making sure that he is interesting. A turn 1 Brainstorm. So we're going to see some unusual plays here, and I think that it's relevant to know that Eric has been trying out a lot of different decks, and I think this is kind of one of those lessons that you learn when you're getting into Legacy initially.
Yeah.
Is that Brainstorm is not a turn 1 cantrip. It is a card that gets significantly better the later the game goes.
Yes, very much so.
And usually, I've seen it cast on main phase more often than instant speed.
Yes,
than
you
opponent
almost
speed.
always, I mean, there's certain situations, but most of the time you're casting on your main phase.
But of course, this is actually a huge misconception, because most people who aren't familiar with the card, they see instant,
Yeah.
and they see that it draws 3 cards.
Yeah,
and
it leads, the wording leads to believe that you would cast it, like you just did at the end step, and it would be great in any deck. The problem is that you really only draw 1 card with it.
Oh, slowly crashing? Yeah, Grand Coliseum is in this deck.
So yeah, I think like you said, he's newer to Legacy, so he's not very familiar with that interaction, I believe. But we will see. Him to Turok, all right.
I love this. So we, so Reflecting Pool. Being used to produce the black mana to hint to Turok this Enchantress deck, which is at its heart kind of a prison deck.
Yes, it is.
And actually, hint to Turok seems like a really solid kind of play here, because taking on a deck that relies on a fairly
he got an Enchantress,
grabbing an Enchantress and actually a Green Sun, which is functionally an Enchantress in this deck. That's a pretty good way to go about it. He's got a Dark Confidant, some mana in hand, and what appears to be... do you know what that card is off the top of your head?
It looks like a hymn.
I think that's another hymn.
I can't.
This is delightful.
I think it's a hymn.
This is
else can it be?
delightful. Oh my goodness. So we were watching...
Oh, it's a Skeletal Scrying. That's what it is.
Oh, is that what that is?
Skeletal Scrying. The typical Legacy start.
So, Skeletal
The whole
Scrying.
Brainstorm into him. Off Gemstone Mine and Reflecting Pool is right.
That is
It's
not
Skeletal Scrying.
As
He
an-
actually was kind enough to give us a deck list.
So, the old 1 and X, as an additional cost, exile X cards from your graveyard to draw X and lose X. At this point, wouldn't you just rather run the new card?
You would rather run a lot of cards over this. But
Okay, sure, but wouldn't you rather run Painful Truths?
Yes,
Which,
absolutely.
because in a 5-color deck.
Yeah, I would agree. But like I said, Eric, I don't know him personally very well, but he seems to always have...
He's always running something particularly...
He's a brewer.
He's a brewer
For
at heart.
sure,
And I think, to my knowledge, just diving into this Legacy format
Yes,
head first.
I agree.
And
I believe so.
And some of the stuff that he's been doing...
It appears that he's a big fan of Throne because he plays Throne
in almost
all
every
his decks. Yeah, I'll have to talk to him because this is an interesting deck. Because the concept is kind of there. I just think that
It's good to see you, Sean. Thank you so much for joining. Oh man! Now, actually,
yeah.
this top is run by Joe, mostly because he doesn't have all of his.
Miri's Guile.
Yeah, I think it's basically just to fill in some of the slots because he doesn't want to follow the proxy rule that is currently in place.
Yeah, I think. I've
Ice
seen
Bridge
some
does
Enchantress
not.
lists with that play top, but
Ice Bridge does not come into play tapped.
no. It comes into play with an ice counter on it.
Also, Slowly Crashing, never ask me if you're insane. I've seen the things that you brew up. Dodo, it's good to see ya. Okay.
That is true. Jeremy Edwards did win that.
So, we do have a Viridian Enchantress, right? Or is that the Argothian?
That's Argothian.
Okay, Argothian Enchantress. Out with this top. Not a whole lot of the enchantments coming down yet. Joe off to a particularly slow start, but all things considered, so was Eric. I mean, Eric has done he's getting into his fourth turn and not applying a ton of pressure against this deck. And Joe, when given enough time, is going to be able to take this game pretty far.
This is kind of how I expect Eric, looking at the deck list, how I expect Eric's turns to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't have anything like Deathrite Shaman or anything like that to really speed up.
No acceleration. And
no acceleration.
I think I'd like a Deathrite Shaman over those Brainstorms.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Or potentially over that Skeletal Scrying as well.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to go like a 5-color ride, I think maybe something like more of a Maverick Shell would be a better.
Ooh, you could even
a better
run
line. Have like a base green, so you could play Deathrite Shaman and all that, and then or like a Nick Fit.
You could go extra sweet and start running things like Mother of Runes.
I mean,
in a 5-color deck, it may not be awful.
It
would be interesting. To say
it would be
least.
interesting. Yes.
It would be interesting. Oh man. So
second Ice Bridge.
Yep, Ice Bridge, a pretty interesting card there.
Let's see. So you have a Jite and a Bolt. The Bolt won't be doing much against the Enchantress, but
now the weird thing about this deck is that so many of the colored sources, because you're looking at 4 Tendo Ice Bridge, 4 Gemstone Mines. So many of its like colored mana producers only do it a limited number of times.
Yes, or they cost a significant amount of life over time.
Right, and then especially in a matchup like this, I wouldn't call that super relevant, but going for a swing for 2, equipping this Jite. Now, this is going to be... So what mode are you thinking is going to be the most relevant? Because the -1, -1 counters
it's going to be the
pump.
pig. I mean, Joe will not kill him with damage unless it's from Emrakul, which in that case, it doesn't matter how much life you have.
Right.
And then you can't target any of Joe's creatures. So
and gaining life
is irrelevant.
Pointless, yeah. So I think
it will be the pump is the only useful mode that he's actually able to use. That being said, I'm not sure how familiar Eric is with Joe's deck, so he might.
When's the last time that you saw a Jite use the pump spell or the pump mode exclusively?
I mean, the pump mode does come up fairly often. So.
I mean, this Dark Confidant becoming a swing for 6 is not insignificant.
You are not wrong.
So a Rest in Peace coming down, not huge here. I think the biggest factor is that suddenly that Skeletal Scrying does nothing.
I mean, yeah. What else? I think that's actually the only.
I think that's the only thing that
graveyard
actually ends up being relevant. None of those really feel to me to be relevant to the graveyard. I mean, none of the lands are relying on it. You are absolutely right.
Oh, okay, that is fair.
Well, Eric may not know what Joe is playing. Joe has no idea what Eric is playing.
So he flipped a him off the Bob. Not a bad one.
No, and in this particular situation, when again Joe is working with really kind of limited resources with his slower start, if you can nab whatever he maybe drew off of this Rest in Peace and really limit what he can draw, because if you maybe give Joe another unchecked turn of drawing cards, that the value of that card is going to drop significantly as he starts to fill up his hand with those enchantments. So I think now is the one turn that Eric really has to capitalize on taking out whatever Joe has been able to develop in his board to start playing out next turn.
Yeah. He might actually... excuse me.
Yeah.
He also has Sigil of the Empty Throne, which can make angels, but...
Teddy, I was wearing that hat you got me earlier today, actually. You may have opened the floodgates on this whole...
So.
Did you hear on Wednesday? Bryce invited to where if anybody sends a family-friendly, like stream-appropriate hat to the store, I will wear it at least once for a stream.
All right. Yay Legacy best format. Correct, Sue.
Running Scrying instead of Painful Truths because Scrying only requires 1 colored mana. That's actually pretty reasonable, and I guess as we see
But when all your lands make all 5 colors of mana...
But we are starting to see that so many of these lands do have a limited number of uses. So, that's an interesting point.
They don't produce colorless, though. Okay, except for Tendo Ice Bridge.
Yeah.
But,
so, we are going to get him targeting Joe.
And it looks like, I think he only has 2 cards in his hand, so it's going to be... Oh, wait, no, he's shuffling. So
no, the hat is fantastic. It's just in my car because if I wear a hat every stream, it won't be special anymore. I was wearing it earlier today. It's awesome.
Eric, your graveyard's exiled.
Okay.
Yes, everything is exiled.
Oh, man. Does Joe have... Oh, apparently Joe does have home in hand.
Really? So,
I'd love to see
flipping
it
the top
hit.
to make it so, 5.
Oh,
Probably the best too.
takes out solitary confinement and the... Oh my goodness. Oh, this is fantastic. Rob, you talk. What? Rob, it's good to see you. And hello to everybody who is joining.
Yep, there's the helm.
So,
Unfortunately,
actually, that was a phenomenal hymn.
that was probably one of the better outcomes.
So, a swing for 6. Now we do have a bolt, which means that Joe is functionally at 8.
Mm-hmm. What is that? Oh, that was.
Does he have the capability of going for...
Does he have another
Can he kill
solitary
next
confinement?
turn?
No, he has an artifact.
Yeah, but I don't think that he can draw a whole lot. So this is end step. We're going to go for the bolt.
Ultimate response, alright.
We're going to try and get a kill this turn. All you need is 2 damage. Though, actually, Joe can just block. So...
Yeah, he can block, so he's not actually dead.
He's got a lot of
But-
time.
What was that? Was that a replenish? Won't do anything.
Replenish is unfortunate in this particular situation.
He also has skeletal scrying, so...
You're not wrong there. JB Red Phoenix, or as you will always blame it on, the Phoenix bot. Thank you so much for the host. It's good to see you, Phoenix.
Here's the brainstorm,
Which draws into...
which draws into 2 brainstorms.
See, and this is the situation where, like, putting it on top means nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
You're just deciding what you're going to draw next.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I think we're probably going to put a
He'll
brainstorm...
replenish rest in peace.
Because
combo,
right now I
yes.
can tell you that
Yes,
this
sir.
is these are the 5 cards that Eric is going to be working with for the next several turns, no matter what he does.
He does have He does have multiple brainstorms, so he can see 1 card deeper each turn.
But-
that being said, you're still brainstorm locking yourself for several turns.
Yeah,
If he
and-
keeps casting,
and
them,
I
which
think-
it looks like he is going to.
I think this is almost the exact point in which Eric is going to realize that not running fetch lands made that card so much worse.
I hope he realizes
Oh, actually,
it.
the Dark Confidant does help him buy out of it a little bit.
That's true.
So now
Well,
he did just basically redraw that hand. So his brainstorms at least have...
So his brainstorm drew him a card.
His brainstorm... No, so far he basically drew 3, put 2 back, and drew those 2. Oh, no, you're right,
Yeah,
you're right.
So,
It basically,
but he got 1 card.
it's 1
deeper,
mana,
so-
draw 1.
Yeah. Which
Uh,
isn't the worst card in the world, but
But at that point, would you
Still.
rather just run something like...
Painful Truths or Skeletal Scry.
Or... I mean...
There's a Stoneforge,
ooh,
alright, and a counterspell.
And a click. But the Stoneforge...
He doesn't have any. What does the land in his hand do?
That land enters tapped. That is the relevant part.
But it.
It will enter tapped, but it either taps for colorless or it deals 1 damage to you to tap for any color.
Okay, so it's a bad city. Right?
It's a bad city of brass. That is correct. It is,
So,
I
yeah.
believe, only a 1 of in there. No, 2 of. It is a 2 of in there. So we're gonna go for the swing. We're just gonna get a chump block on it. That's fine. The interesting thing is that Eric is now gonna have 4 counters on it, and that's gonna really enhance his ability to eventually do this damage. But as long as Joe's drawing cards, he is not in a bad spot any longer.
He's not. He also has a top going, so he really wants to find a solitary confinement.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, going to be his window to resolve something because Eric, assumingly, will leave this counterspell mana up.
Possibly,
Um,
except he actually can't cast that right now because of these ice bridges no
No,
longer
but
being effective.
he has the what's it called? The gemstone mine that will be untapping next year. So he will have 2 blue.
True.
He'll get 1 shot out of it.
Until then, he is likely going to be going for the other Brainstorm. I'm a little bit surprised to
looks
see
like
him not going for the Stoneforge Mystic while
I
he has
am
the
as well.
chance. Because, you know, a Jitte is just kind of... If you want to talk about, like, a rare situation in which, like, the life gain might be relevant, having a ton of counters on a Dark Confidant and a Batterskull going off might not be the worst way to go about it if you have the capability of maybe preserving some of your board. But at this point, I think an Emrakul Swing is going to kill him no matter what, just because this board is so narrow.
Yeah, an Emerald Screen will definitely kill him no matter what. So it looks like
Wild
Joe's going to
Growth?
draw a card. Get a
He's
Wild
actually
Growth.
gonna draw 2.
He's going to brainstorm and oh, he can't cast that.
He's got to land up above.
Oh, okay, I see.
But
Hey, Eric,
could you lower
could he
your
move
board?
the lands?
We can't see
down?
his whole board.
A little more.
That didn't do anything.
Pardon me.
That's okay. You go do your thing. Mr. Yakushi, I think one thing that has been kind of a theme is that, and I mean this in like, Eric changes up these decks so often and like brings something new each time that they really find themselves looking unrefined, is I think the term that I would use for it. And so I think that that the farther in that we go, then if he keeps playing something like this, it's really going to refine itself over time. Okay. So, hello to everybody who is in the chat. We're heading into Eric's turn. We are looking like about 30 people. Thank you so much. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button. We're going to try and do some community building over the next couple of weeks. That way, well, we got denied for Twitch partnership, which means that we're going to try and build up this community and try and apply again. That Plains is, I believe, Mirage, but I don't know for certain. I don't know for certain. Oh, it's time for me to hype it up. If you haven't yet, check out the Geek Fortress website, which I think can be found here. But we do now have a functioning online storefront. So if you can go there, check it out, support the store any way that you can by ordering those cards. I got to sign a Lightning Helix today that someone ordered, and in the comments said, have TJ sign it. Does community building mean giveaways? Well, we do have some coming down the line. We also do have a Pauper tournament this coming, actually 2 days from now on Sunday. Are you going to be playing in it?
No.
That's okay.
I built a Pauper deck, and then I goldfished it once and took it apart.
And actually the shirts are available on there. The shirts are for sale. If you add stuff to the wish list, if your size is not in, he will go about finding those and adding them on there. This is interesting. So actually, he has got a lethal amount of damage on this Dark Confidant if it ever gets through. Hey, the Hacker 4chan, it is good to see you. You're so mysterious. The mysterious hacker named 4chan? But it's good to see ya. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Okay, so still a little bit. I mean, Joe is kind of in a narrow position because every time that he does this, he's also restricting his ability to draw cards off of this. And while he's looking at I think that was a Serra Sanctum and 2 enchantments. That's about as good as you can get off of a Dividing Top.
I mean, what he needs here is a Solitary Confinement, realistically.
Yeah.
That is
Ooh.
pretty much the only. I think that's the only thing. Oh, an Elephant Grass would do it too.
Elephant Grass. This
is Elephant Grass non-black creatures?
Yes.
Okay, so Elephant Grass wouldn't do anything.
Well, no longer would do anything because of this Vendilion Click, and this is going to be able to attack for lethal next turn if Joe doesn't hit the Solitary Confinement. Weston, it's great to see you. Alright.
Now, Joe will get to look at quite a few cards, though. If,
he will be able to get to look at a couple, but I'm okay with taking down a...
What do you take out of Joe's hand, if anything?
What's that card? Replenish? No, then I wouldn't take that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if I'm taking anything, it's going to be that creature, the Eidolon, just because it is an Enchantress effect, but he's already got 2 of them. But drawing your card and then making future ones draw for cards.
I do not think you take the Enchantress here. It costs 4 mana, and he has 5 mana.
But that's true, and based on what Eric
would...
is able to see, I was going off of knowing that he has the Serra Sanctum. Or not the Serra Sanctum at the top of the library, I believe.
Yeah.
But that's true. Our t-shirts on the website, yes, they should be under a section called Miscellaneous, Kayleigh. If you do get a t-shirt and get it in the mail, take a picture and send it to me at RedBaronMTG on Twitter. I'd love to see other people repping the shirt. What do we think of the new white 3-drops in Maverick?
It's good. I think that
those cards are pretty sweet.
It's better in... It's weird. It's probably not that good, actually, because you can't Green Sun Zenith for it, now that I think about it.
The cards are pretty sweet, though.
No, it is pretty sweet.
I think Death and Taxes is going to do much better with them. The new Grenzo and Duretti. Ooh, those are pretty sweet. Oh man, the basic Conspiracy 2 is knocking it out of the park. All things.
It's
Show and Tell has been confirmed.
It has?
Yes.
All right, it's better than Eternal
Masters. Like the set is just incredible for both modern and legacy reprints. Like they're not, and this is an unlimited print set.
You know what they need though?
What?
Port.
Oh, I mean if they can do Port.
If they reprint Port,
man.
And they just didn't do it so they could get more tons out there in a non-limited print run set.
I think Joe just won. Sigil of the Empty Throne is able to get in the way of that Vendilion Click, that's huge.
Yeah, I think he also has an Elephant Grass too.
The Elephant
So-
Grass less significant just because Eric does have the Vendilion Click now.
No, Elephant Grass makes it so creatures. Oh wait, no, they have to pay 2.
They have to
right?
pay 2,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was thinking of.
Non-black creatures have to pay 2. Black creatures just can't attack.
Yes, that's what.
Man, Lathier, it is good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. But, man, this is exciting. We're at about 35 people, something like that. Which,
Yeah.
with the competition for the day, I'm okay with. I'm happy with it.
There's a decent amount of competition today.
There
And
is.
that's all right.
That's. I mean, we do this because we love it. The fact that we just get to talk to lots of people sometimes is pretty awesome. Let's take all the constructed playable cards and put them in draft set. I mean, a lot of them are also draft constructed and showing up at rare. They did the same thing in the original Conspiracy as well. I mean, do you remember how expensive Exploration or Misdirection or Stifle used to be? And
They were like, Stifle was really expensive. Stifle was like $40 at one point.
Stifle's like $10 now, maybe.
Less than that.
Yeah, it's
A
like
lot less than
5.
that,
So, I am really excited that they're putting these into an unlimited reprint set.
yeah. I am too.
What are your thoughts on Chronotog stacks? I have no idea what to even think about
No.
that. Lathier, that's awesome. Keep playing. Keep fighting the good fight. Get Legacy going. And talk to your store owner about incorporating our proxy rule that we have.
I would encourage it, especially if,
It's-
if you're having trouble firing, I think it's a great way to get the Legacy format in your store.
And the Solitary Confinement comes out. I think Joe wins. Sigil out. He's got 2
Yeah,
angels.
I don't think he can.
He's got
He can beat it.
a 2-turn clock, but if he doesn't, or I'm sorry, a 3-turn clock, but
Well-
if this doesn't become a 2-turn clock, then actually this is just a 2-turn.
Theoretically, if Joe gets greedy
This is a 2-turn clock.
and starts attacking with too many angels, then he can Gite, or I guess now swords, the angels and get in there. But
the
that-
Solitary
that
Confinement,
being
though.
said,
Solitary is
I
out.
didn't even see something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Xeris, it's good to see you. Thank you
Yes.
so much for returning and joining us. Are Serum and Inquisition the only decent reprints for Modern? They also gave Birds of Paradise, but so far. And that's with not the whole set spoiled yet.
Mhm.
And Commons and Uncommons are usually where you see those good reprints, and they haven't actually done them yet. So there might be more to see.
Serum Visions is uncommon, which is good. But
Serum Visions is going to be awesome. That card was unnecessarily expensive.
it's gone now. I think it's like $4, $5 now.
True, but
Yeah, yeah.
for a card that you want to have in almost every blue deck, making it more attainable is certainly not going to be a bad idea.
Yeah, that's also good. Later, if I would encourage a proxy rule if you're having trouble getting Legacy to fire.
Yeah,
So
our rule is that it actually doesn't cost any more, and you are allowed to have any number. However, any store credit or prize support that you win has to be spent on the cards that you're using in your deck.
Mhm.
So it's been pretty good, and it's still, you're still getting the tournament entry, things like that.
And Legacy has definitely picked up in the store since we've started doing the proxy rule.
Slowly
So,
but surely.
Yeah, it is a slow process because it's an expensive format.
Yep.
But it is. We're getting there.
And we're still seeing some of these brainstorms lock Eric out, and I just don't think that that's going to be what he needs in this long run. I don't think that there's a whole lot of answers. I mean, we even have access to this. Abrupt Decay, taking down a
Abrupt Decay can kill
solitary
Solitary.
confinement, and
He does have 4 Abrupt Decays.
and you have to use basically attack in with the Dark Confidant, take down all the angels with your -1/-1 counters, and have Joe not have any more, and get in with the Vindictive.
that's the thing is that Joe, assuming he has solitary confinement, could get greedy and just
Joe is
attack.
okay. So if Joe taps up, but even still, if he doesn't produce any angels next turn, I am going to be shocked.
I mean, it is a line. I mean,
It's-
that being said, I don't think
it's a lot. You're right.
I can see it happen. I think that's Eric's best route to victory is Joe.
Now, I think what we're
Joe
seeing now
overextending.
is Eric doing something that I would have liked to see significantly sooner, is using the Stoneforge Mystic as pretty much his only way to shuffle the library after doing a brainstorm.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. Was at Black Iron Barkus. Good evening.
Black Iron Barkus, it's good to see you. You are a rock star, and I look forward to hanging out with you in the future. If you haven't yet, always feel free to hit that follow button.
Yes, those are Tendro Ice Bridges.
Yes, this deck is all kinds of curious. We've got Tendo Ice Bridges on the battlefield. We've got a Reflecting Pool. We've got a Grand Coliseum out there.
He has a Jason Mind Sculptor. That's how he wins. Oh, no. Yes.
He has a
I
J.
guess he has the Angels.
I mean,
So-
the Angels are not going to be a bad thing right here.
Never mind. I'm looking. I'm optimistic. I want to see this this deck take down the Menace.
Okay, so let's take a look at the sideboard here.
All right, so he's moving it to the click. All right.
The sideboard has four Corrosion Grip and three Wrenchmind?
Yeah.
Awesome! So, this deck is going to be going up to 7 double discard for 2 mana, 4 Corrosion Grip. Oh my goodness.
And Mind Break Trap if Joe gets a little greedy.
I mean, do you...
Starts going how
That exiles them from the stack, however. You
It-
can take down Emrakul.
If you've played 7, or excuse me, 3 or more spells this turn.
Which he likely has. Which Joe has been
Not
casting...
necessarily.
No, not at all. Oh my goodness.
Emrakul is an expensive man.
This... But he's got 7 cards coming in. Taking out 4 Swords to Poshard. And
4 Brainstorm?
at this point, I would probably take out 3 Brainstorm. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Eric, after potentially
He's not
seeing
going
what
to take out
happens here...
Brainstorm, I assume.
I mean, now that he's seen him, that it's just locking him in,
But
and likely is not going to be the next.
That's the
iteration.
thing, is that I don't think he does see it, is the problem. Like,
We'll see, because I would maybe take out a Skeletal Scrying just because he sees the resting piece.
yeah, I would take out the Skeletal Scrying for sure.
Mhm.
Maybe Thrun, but I think you want Thrun. I think you want all your creatures. But I can see how he could think that Thrun might be bad. Same with Lightning Bolt.
I don't know. I think at this point I'm taking out probably Swords and some Brainstorms, but if you're not taking out the Brainstorms, then Skeletal and Lightning Bolt probably. Do we have a Leylines player? I don't think
No.
so. Not at the moment. Oh
do not
my
believe so.
goodness.
This game 1, though, that is correct.
So now we are. I don't think that we have any actual chance of progressing into a win for Eric in this game 1, unless Joe happens to rip his entire deck in half by accident. It's always been a line that's been available to him, and he seems to
rip his
never
deck
actually
in
see
half?
it. Yeah, he never actually sees the line, so it's unlikely that he'll
Eric?
start picking. No, Joe.
Oh,
I think that's how I see
it.
it.
It is a line.
And it's just not a line that I've ever seen him take before, and I think that
There's always a chance, though.
right. He might further develop his game plan and really start taking some adventurous plays and risk taking, since he feels so locked into the win here, that he might take a risky play and try ripping his deck in half and just see how it affects the board state.
I see you've gone through this more than once.
I actually haven't.
No move cotton, I agree. It is
I have not gone for the old rip the deck in half method. Oh man. Either that or Pox. Ooh. Lathier, you are going for some wicked strategies if
Don't
you're
build
too.
Pox.
Try smokestacks. It gets the people going. Away because they don't want to play test against you.
Yeah,
It gets the people going. Oh man, look, Joe's got. Okay, never mind. That was his graveyard. I was gonna say. That's the good old TJ talking, making stuff up. That's pretty much how it happens. I open my mouth, I see what happens, and we just kind of go forward from there.
yeah.
It tends to work out. I don't know. Either way, we've got a Stoneforge Mystic out of Vendilion Clique with 6 counters on this Jitte at the moment, which is, whew. Shadow Sword. Thanks for joining us, Shadow. It's good to have you. So, a Dark Confidant, a Vendilion Clique with 6 counters on that Jitte. For such a small sword, this has got to be getting heavy. At what point does the click become ground laden? Just because there's so many counters weighing down this Jitte that he's trying to carry over the field. Sorry, were you not really?
Well, now he's not
prepared for
carrying
that?
anything over the field because he's not even attacking with it.
That's true. That's true. Does that deck? It's called. Oh, nice. Nice. No, there is no Trinisphere at the moment in this deck.
In Eric's deck?
No.
Joe's deck.
Does Joe's deck run Trinisphere? Oh no, I think he runs a 1 of Trinisphere.
In the board?
I don't
Or in
think
the
so.
main?
I think he was running 1 in the main for a bit.
Then he probably doesn't want Wrench Mod because he can just discard a top or a.
I mean, how would he know that though?
Well,
I don't think that, and that's still but that top is I think a 1 of.
Yes.
I would still bring in Wrench Mine.
No, you definitely bring in range mine.
You see, like, if you can go turn 2,
Tarnish.
him, turn 3, I mean, even if it's Wrench, while he gets to pick, reducing the hand size of Joe is not a bad way, and attacking that
Yeah.
is a great way to go about it, especially if he starts playing out some of the early cards like these Wild Growths to empty out his hand. Yeah, Erica's going to be a fine position there.
He has a Tarnished Citadel in his hand.
Oh, man.
That's
And looking through the graveyards, I see nothing right now. Lathier, that click is going to hurt really bad if it wasn't for a card called Solitary Confinement, which is out on the battlefield now. That Solitary Confinement says that at the beginning of his upkeep, Joe does have to discard a card from his hand, but otherwise, he skips his draw step, can't be the target of spells or abilities, and prevents all damage that would be dealt to him. So, that's actually... Unfortunately, Eric does not run Ensnaring Bridge in this deck, but there. No, I know, Doro. I was just commenting to redraw focus to the fact that there is a Rest in Peace. The fact that there are no graveyards is 100% because of Rest in Peace.
yes.
Otherwise, we do have a Stirring Wildwood, so he's able to tutor up whatever enchantment that he needs. He also now is protected through something like an Abrupt Decay, if there were to be one, and Joe weren't attacking in with a massive field of angels at this point. But, I mean, at this point, Eric has got to feel a little bit like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, just because he's
reading Emrakul.
He's got to feel a bit like Joseph Gordon-Levitt with all the angels that are giving him some help.
Sure.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was the actor in Angels in the Outfield.
I assumed so.
Okay.
But
okay.
I've never actually seen that movie. But
So a game 1 win goes to Joe with an Emrakul coming down to really seal the deal.
yeah, you could say that.
So looking at what we're going to be taking out at this point,
Was he taking out bolts? All right.
it looks like the bolts, and I'm assuming that swords is coming out. Okay, looks like that's what we are going for. How do I feel about the new Sultai Legendary? See, this is the one that we were talking about earlier right now. The new Sultai Legendary, to where they can't draw more than one card per turn, and you...
Is it on Gather yet? Can you pull it up?
I don't believe so. But it's a
Tell us
3/3
what,
for 3.
Tell us what the card does. Again, we had mixed understanding on what the card does.
Mm-hmm. Is it bad that you want to get certain cards simply to get altered? No. I mean, altering cards is just a way to play the game. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, Teddy Swain. I don't know which joke that I made. I don't know. Either way, yeah, it's a 3/3 for 3 for the Sultai colors.
Yeah.
That has your opponents can't draw more than one card per turn.
He is bringing in Mindbreak Trap, it looks like.
Oh,
all right.
We're going deep. Oh, bring it in. Bring in the Wrench Mind. Do it. I want to see it. I want to see it. Either way.
He's not...
Oh.
Is he not going to bring in Crozier?
The Angels in the Outfield joke? That wasn't a joke. That was a real life. That was me drawing a analogy to the real world situation to try and help you all understand how Joe might feel at this current time.
Well, I'm intrigued on how this guy's sideboarding.
It was top-notch commentary. There we go. We got it for you. Okay.
Alright.
There you go.
Each opponent can't draw more than one card each turn. Whenever you
or a permanent becomes the target of a spell or ability, you may draw a card. It's pretty solid.
I don't think so.
No?
Well, I don't think you'll see play. I think it's a sweet card, but...
I mean, Abrupt Decay, Wasteland, any kind of Lightning Bolt, Hymn to Turok.
That's fine.
Nothing? Nothing doing for you?
It's too mana intensive, or it's too color intensive, I think, more than anything, and it's... I mean, it would... The only deck that I would see play in is Shardless, right?
Yes, that's, in my opinion, maybe something like Joe's decks. Yeah. I could see it in Joe's, like, pod decks, maybe.
Yeah, in like a pod deck, it would...
Which is basically a weird, like his Palinchronic, as he calls it.
Yeah. I think Shardless Agent is just better, though, is the thing.
Oh, no. I can definitely get behind that mentality. Okay. Look at that, Coleman. Coleman played the card.
I would play that card. In
Got-
what deck? In Shardless?
Coleman would play it. I don't even know what Coleman would be playing that in. Elves. Let's
You
say
can play
elves.
it in Elves, so you can use Green Sun for it.
Yeah. There you go. Either way, we're gonna have Eric on the play. Now, did he bring in the Wrenchmans?
As the Mirror Breaker in the Shardless mashup.
Did he
Uh,
did he bring in the Wrenchmans?
I don't know. I stopped looking
Okay.
to look at the card.
But we do know that there are Mind Break traps in this Enchantress, or going up against this Enchantress deck, which I'm not thrilled with. To be honest.
He might have not bring in the Mind Break traps. I think he put them on top of his deck box, which made it look like they were.
Okay.
To be honest, I have no idea what he did.
Okay.
But
Well, we'll see as he continues to go for this. Now, Joe, I don't even know how he would sideboard for this. I mean, I don't even know how Joe would go about sideboarding for this matchup, because, like,
no idea. My guess is anti-creature stuff.
yeah. I think Coleman may have just realized that it is an elf. He should play Chain of Vapor. Eric? Are we talking about Eric here? Maybe. We shall see. Either way, we've got Eric. We're taking a look at that opening hand. Looks like we've got a decent mana base. We've got... What is that? I'm not fully familiar with that card.
What? Jiral's Verdict.
Oh, did he bring in the verdicts?
It looks like it.
Why would you bring in... Unless to maybe try and take down the hexproof creatures? That's Gerard's, right?
Yeah. Jiral's, I think.
I think it's Gerard's verdict.
Gerard's Verdict.
So target player
Discards
discards 2
2
cards from his or her hand. You gain 3 life for each land card discard this way. So he just sideboarded into nothing but hand disruption.
Yeah.
Tons of 2 mana hand disruption.
So
he's-
assuming he brought in all 4, he has 4, 8.
He's got 11.
He has 11.
He's got
2 mana. Discard 2.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be
Alright.
sweet.
Deal.
Oh my goodness.
I can get behind that.
This is so sweet. So, Joe going for the turn one.
The turn 1
Utopia
Utopia
Sprawl.
Sprawl. Alright.
And then we are going to have the 2 mana available. We're going to go down to 19, and we are going to see, I believe, this Gerard's... Oh, we've got the him first. This is a great way to go about this. So we know that he's going to just keep dropping down these random discard spells. And if you can take down any Enchantress effect here, then that's going to be a great way to go about it. I'm assuming just a reroll on 6.
Yeah.
And we're not going to have to find out how. So, we take down a land and an Enchantress.
Alright.
That's not bad. He's got a Wrenchmind and a Gerard's Verdict in hand. Next turn...
2 Jiral's Verdict.
So next turn, discard. And then turn 4, theoretically...
Double discard?
Double discard and just wipe the hand out.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Joe is starting to draw cards, but...
This is amazing! I can't wait to... Oh my goodness. Justin, we are watching
This is,
some beautiful things
this is
happening
real
right
magic.
now. This is real...
Is there really only 10 and a half minutes left?
Oh my goodness.
There's
This
less
is
than that.
beautiful. Oh, so we have got a City of Brass that's going to come down. Do we have a 1 mana spell available to us? I think. Oh my goodness. So I am baffled right now. I am baffled.
That being said, I think Joe's just gonna win because it's gonna draw. But
Joe is likely going to win because of just the factor of getting a draw. But we're going for the Wrenchmind here.
Wrenchmind.
Joe going to be, I mean, if he's got the top in hand, I think in this case I would have prioritized the Gerard's Verdict first. Just because there's the least, like, outs to it.
yeah, it guarantees you hit the 2 cards.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh, he is falling to 18 because of these Mana Confluence.
yes.
And the City of Brass that are out. So each time that he is tapping those for mana, he is losing a life or taking a damage, depending on which card it is. Oh, as far as why did he lose it in turn 1, I believe he cast a Brainstorm.
Yes. He cast a Brainstorm at the end of Joe's turn.
Yeah. Which looks like he did keep those in.
Yeah. I mean, he, again, like...
Amir's
Yeah,
Guile
it's-
out. Cards in Joe's hand, do you happen to know? Because if he can put Joe in a top deck mode,
Joe has the Dryad Arbor.
With the Corrosive
And the Corrosive Grip, alright.
Oh my goodness!
So he is drawing mono sideboard cards.
Oh my goodness, do you just go for the double force into discard here?
I think you at least fire off one, because I think Joe has 2 cards in his hand, so...
You fire up one, and then, yeah, I guess you save up the Corrosive Grip for next turn? Oh my goodness, discard 2, we're gonna
I like
take
the way he
out
played that card, just stuff.
My grandfather built this deck. Discard 2.
There it is, the Green Sun and the Forest. Now,
We are gonna get-
here's the thing. Joe has a 16, 19 turn clock.
He does have a 19 turn clock available. Oh, 18.
18 turn clock.
And let's see what we get. An Abrupt Decay on.
Please hit the Miri's Guile? No? Okay.
You know, I'm okay with that, but I think the Mirror's Guile would have been the better call.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do we have some infect? Actually, I don't think that we have any infect tonight.
I don't believe so.
Actually,
Unless-
no, Aaron might be on it.
No, he's on a learn.
Okay. So we may not, but Chaz Jones, it is good to see ya. So he is going to take a look, and I think this is where I would have taken the gamble of him not drawing an enchantment, but maybe drawing 2, knowing that I have that ability to have him discard them again. Then I would have to maybe try to just take that down. But a Utopia Sprawl,
Utopia Sprawl going to draw 1.
and now we're just kind of in a hoping mode. Though he was able to look at more of those cards, so he is probably aware of what he's drawing.
Yes. Storm? I'm not sure about Storm either.
Josh is likely on Storm.
I think he's on Rogue. Would be my guess.
Okay. Is Infect as good in Legacy as it is in Modern?
No, not even close.
But it is good.
It's a fine deck.
If you're Tom Ross, it's incredible. I think that
That's
the deck
not-
is good. The deck
no,
is
it's
definitely
a good deck.
but it's not.
It's
tier
not
one.
nearly as good as.
It's not great when you have Eldrazi, when you have multiple decks that are casting Chalice and Counterbalance.
Well, that's not the problem. The problem is that there's just so much. There's so much more interaction in Legacy than there is in Modern.
On the stack, not on the board. There is so much less
there is-
creature removal though. Our Glistener Elf is fairly safe.
There is a lot less creature removal. You're right.
I think that it's
But-
bigger that you just can't beat the turn 1 Chalice, which is like.
I mean, that definitely doesn't help. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason that the deck is not as good in Modern, though.
True.
Can I get Jund in Legacy? Yes, you can. It's not as nearly as good as it is in Modern.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not nearly as good as it is in Modern.
So we get yet another Enchantress effect out for Joe, who is going to draw some cards and then pass it back. And this is kind of that situation in which I want to see if we've got a Stoneforge, a Corrosive Grip, the Mirror's Guile. You gotta go for it, and I don't want to see Eric go for the Eidolon. Though I think there's a chance that since he prioritized it last time, he might. But I'd like to see him take down that Mirror's Guile. Joe with just 1 card in hand right now, right?
Yeah,
And
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm okay with cutting him off to 1 card and then next turn starting to go for that discard. But it looks like he's actually going to go for the. Yep. Going for the Corrosive Grip on that one, continue to not take the Mirror's Guile, and I think that might be a slight miss. But Eric is at 16. Oh no, yeah, he has to. Those don't tap for colorless.
No, they didn't.
You're at 16.
They don't tap for colorless.
You took damage off of the lands, right? Yeah. All right. Imbuement, it's good to see you. I don't recognize your name. Are you brand new? If so, welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. My name's TJ,
I'm Justin.
and thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, Tarmo Twin. If you want to play a Jund style deck, the best one is Shardless Bug. It plays very, very similar to Jund, but it does more broken things.
Yep.
But it is essentially the same sort of value grindy deck.
All right. Imbuement, my bad. I am sometimes particularly awful with names. I apologize. But welcome back. It's good to have you, and thank you so much for joining again. I am the worst. What other decks can we expect to see tonight? I think that there is some
There's
Delver
an
decks out
Alurin,
there.
I believe there's a land.
Some
there might be
Miracles.
some Delver. I'm playing, but I have the buy.
Maybe some Eldrazi.
So, maybe... I don't know what Ryan's playing. Ryan said that he was selling Mud to build Storm, when he went to the GP. I don't
He
know
did.
if he actually he did. Okay,
Yeah,
so
he's
he's
on
probably
Storm.
playing Storm.
He is on a mostly, like, there's a lot of foil in there, too. It's a really, yeah. It's a nice Storm deck. At least I think there was a good amount. I may be misremembering, but I think there was definitely some.
Reanimator. I don't think Reanimator's in.
You know, we normally have it, but I don't think that we do today. Interesting. So I don't think that we have much Reanimator today. Aaron not here, I don't think.
No,
Which
I
is
do
not
think so.
normal Reanimator. That's Burning Reanimator, but still.
Yeah.
All right. So it is.
I believe it's Ant.
I believe it's Ant.
Not that there's a huge difference in the two, but yeah, I believe it's Ant.
They both Storm.
They both Storm.
They both Storm. So that's during Sterling Grove is going to kind of shut down what Eric's options were as far as taking down that Mirror's Gal. And I think Joe might win through what was basically sideboard the hate. No Legacy Burn? No, I'm the Legacy.
You can take down Gerald's Verdict, by the way.
Oh, I probably can.
Um,
I tend to be the main Legacy Burn player, and I'm not playing because I'm always commentating.
There's the one guy that was playing Vexing Devils.
That's true, that you lost to.
That was the most tilting game
Mhm.
actually I've played in the.
Don't be stupid,
That's
it's good to
confidence.
see ya. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're having a fabulous
Hello.
morning or evening or whatever time it is.
I mean, there is a difference, yes, but
If you're looking to see Storm, you're usually not going to be too concerned about which
Yeah.
one you see, is I guess what our point was.
yes.
But I agree that Antstorm is a bit more, I think it's just more resilient.
Yeah. I mean, if you. It takes the same, like, mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. But
Alright, well, Tarmo, Twin, I hope that you are having a wonderful evening, and in about just over half an hour, ask me again, and I'll tell you to have a wonderful morning. There we go. That's the way that it happens. I really should have eaten some. I just realized that I'm pretty hungry. So, a top coming down for Joe, and Joe in such a fabulous position right now. Going through Eric's hate, which I think the discard spells were a great way to go about this, and I think just his main mistake was not taking down that Mirror's Gal when he had that option. I would
Yeah.
have much rather left Joe to his own devices and not given him the option of really fixing what he draws, and instead saying, great, if you draw it, that's fine. I'm going to make you discard those 2 cards. We'll try again.
So, this is a sweet interaction. So Joe is flipping the top, holding priority, and cracking his
The Sterling Grove,
Sterling Grove,
which puts the enchantment that he wants on top of the...
and then he will be drawing it and
Yep.
assumingly playing it this turn.
Which
So-
is pretty brilliant. I like that interaction a lot from Joe. So let's take a look at that Sterling Grove. Okay, so...
some of the best legacy staples in one deck. I agree. It
Nope, hold on.
is a pretty sweet idea, but I don't think it is panning out quite like he imagined.
I have to
But-
agree.
You cannot fault the man for trying.
I can appreciate the concept. I think that the biggest issue that I see just from a deck building perspective is those brainstorms.
Yeah.
But everything
that
else
is
seems...
that is the biggest thing, and the land base. But
The land base could use some work. I think that the Grand Coliseum is probably not where you want to be. Having it lands enter the
I
battlefield
think
tapped in
if
this
you wanted
deck.
to play something like a 5-color deck like this,
Mm-hmm.
I think you want to have like a green.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say like a green-black base, just so you can play like Deathrite Shaman, and then that will also help with the variety of colors of mana.
Yeah.
And then that would also help with your like fetches, so you could afford to play fetch lands, and then just a bunch of different green.
We are also on turns,
off
notably.
greens.
Joe, so we're in turn 1 right now.
Yes, I believe that Joe will be taking this match in 1.
I think that is almost guaranteed. I don't think that Eric has any actual option in this deck of dealing 20 damage through solitary confinement
I
in
agree.
to 3 turns. I don't think that that's at all within Eric's ability. So, we're going to see a 1-0 win for Enchantress. Going forward, if you could do the assist of putting some future matches on
Sure.
for me, and if you could really try not to get me Enchantress every round,
Yes.
that would be great.
I will try my hardest not to, believe it.
That sounds wonderful. Would you be willing to do me a favor?
Yes.
Would you be willing to potentially bring me a water and potentially a generic satisfying snack?
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So, we are, yeah, I just don't know what Eric can do at this point. I mean, his mana base is pretty solid right now. Let's see here. Hey, I do love... If you were to start Legacy, you just do Mono Red Burn. I completely agree with that.
I believe it is the best deck to learn the format.
I agree.
You will get some free wins, and you will learn how to...
And just ask your opponents what they're doing.
Yes.
Watch what they're doing and learn from it.
Play as much Legacy as you can, learn the format, watch streams, watch...
the Scarlet
tournaments.
Spud, I believe that they are just large sleeves. I don't believe that it's triple sleeved. Siege Rhino. Now, why is Siege Rhino not in this 3-color deck? Or 5-color deck?
Because no one else plays Siege Rhino in Legacy.
That's not entirely true. I think Joe does.
Okay, one.
Joker's Gotcha. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I don't fully recognize your username, so I hope that you're enjoying the stream. If you are brand new, welcome. If you are not, and I'm just forgetting your name as I did earlier, welcome back. It's good to have you. But if you are, my name's TJ.
I'm Justin.
We're streaming out of Geek Fortress in Snohomish, Washington. We do the stream 4 times a week. Legacy every Friday at 7:30, Standard every Monday at 6:30, and Modern every Wednesday at 7 and Saturday at 6. All times are Pacific Daylight Time. It's currently 8:30 here. Oof, nailed it. Alright, and look at that, Doro doing the old hey welcome. So Joe's got a couple of mana. Does have that Solitary Confinement available to him. I think he had another one in hand, actually, it looks like.
A Solitary Command.
Yeah. I think I see another one in hand. Huh. Whatever happened to the zombie backdrop? Oh, it's still around. I can get it back, Sliphorn. Alright, and Bear, you have Modern Merfolk and a playset of Forcible and D's. How much easily can you make Legacy Merfolk?
You need 4 Cavern of Souls and 4 True Name Nemesis.
If they have Modern Merfolk, though, they probably have the Caverns. They might have 2 Caverns.
Yeah, you want 4 Caverns, you want 4 or 4 Forcible, or excuse me, 4 True Name Nemesis.
And that's it.
You want, most people play some number of Wastelands, but you don't need them. But they
2 of them would not be bad.
Yeah, a couple Wastelands.
Yeah.
It would be fine. But yeah, they're just Force of Will's Dazes. And then, like, sideboard. And if you're...
They run some Chalice on the board, don't they, sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. If you're not playing Curse Catchers, you need the 4 Curse Catchers, too. But I'm assuming since you have Force of Wills and Dazes, then you have the Curse Catchers.
You would assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, Joker's Gotcha. Looks like you're a lurker usually. Well, thank you so much for jumping into the chat. I appreciate it, and I look forward to interacting with you more in the future. As always, to anybody who might be brand new, if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button. It's either up there or down there, and you can join us for more in the future. Now, if you like Legacy, and maybe that's just because you happen to like Brainstorm, Preordain, Ponder, and Counterspell, be sure to join us on Sunday at noon Pacific time, where we will be doing a Pauper tournament here at Geek Fortress and streaming it. It's going to be awesome. I honestly don't know who my co-host is yet. I'm going to have to find one. But it should be a good time, and we're going to do it. You have all asked for Pauper in the past. We're going to try and get it for you. One of the most Legacy formats that isn't Legacy.
Sure.
In which Delver is actually reliably flipped. How about that? Thinking about making Jeskai Stoneblade with Monastery Mentor.
Yeah, it's a...
Monastery Mentor is a card, and that card is good.
It is good.
So we've got a Stoneforge Mystic in hand.
I'm playing many Monastery Mentors tonight.
Discard spells in hand. But, I mean, looking at Joe's, he's got a Worship at 20 life, and we're in turns. It's just not going to happen.
No, it's not.
It's just not. So,
Pauper is the best Eternal format. I beg to differ, but...
If you haven't yet, be sure to jump into that MTG poll. Toss it in there. Let us know where you are watching from. I'd love to see if more people are watching in mobile, computer, or what have you. I'm going to say that we're watching from a computer. And it looks like we are so far at 1 vote, mobile, at 100%. There you go.
How does Burn sit today in Legacy meta? Burn is always a fine deck. Price of Progress is a mighty fine card in a format where everybody's playing dual lands.
Yeah, it can be a little bit difficult. It can be a little bit difficult. Zach, it's good to see you. All right, so let's see. Oh, that was you. You're mobile. Okay. Looks like computer is starting to win though. Otherwise. Yeah, I just can't imagine a situation where, like, what can Eric do that wins?
He can't. Absolutely nothing. Actually, absolutely nothing.
Because he can't abrupt decay the...
If Joe
the worship,
destroys his worship and destroys... Well, yes, he doesn't have solitary confinement.
but the problem is that Eric needs to remove the Viridian, the Argothian Enchantress and the worship,
He
And
needs
he
to remove all
can't do-
3 of his Argothian enchantresses.
and he can't do either of those.
Yeah.
He has no access to any removal that will take those down, and he has no access to anything that can actually take down an enchantment at that level. So, I don't know. Pernicious Deed is not in this deck, though I would like it in there. Pernicious Deed would be a pretty sweet inclusion. But nope, the Scarlet Spud, I like where your head's at, but we actually do have a deck list, and there's just nothing in this. A Crozen Grip. A Crozen Grip and a Flyer dealing all that damage is maybe the best option. But when you're looking at you have to do it next turn,
Yeah.
it's not possible.
Um,
Alright.
yeah, Corky is right. Wastelands are very cheap. If you can afford to get Wastelands, get them now, I would recommend. But yeah, you will also want the 4 Tree Name Nemesis. Don't forget that. That is a big part of the... or a big incentive to play the Legacy version.
They are not bad.
They're not
that
bad.
card is
Also,
decent.
Legacy version tends to play more Phantasmal Images to copy your Tree Name Nemesis. So...
Again, because that card is not
It
bad.
is very good.
So we are going to get a bit of a swing here using this Batterskull. I mean, the reasoning behind it is, I suppose, because you might as well try.
Yeah.
But Joe has very solidly got the win
Eric
here.
is definitely a trier, if nothing else.
I mean, Joe could pass the turn back. I don't think that there is actually any way to go about this. Joe even has access to do 2 blockers to where he could just block 2 of them, keep his Argothian Enchantress. Again, there's nothing that he actually needs to worry about right now.
But he's going to cast him.
Or, you could just cast Emrakul and actually take
I
the
don't
5th
actually
turn
know
and
he's going
pass.
to.
That's the best way to do it. Oh my goodness. Astrid Glitter, I hope that you have a fun time.
I won't be here. Maybe I will.
You'll
We'll see.
likely be playing.
Yeah, I might be playing.
If you want to, help us get... it's purely anecdotal, and I'm not sure how much it helps us, but jump into that little straw poll. Let us know where you're watching from. Toss some clicky-clack voting. Looks like Computer is currently winning with a proud... Oh, and the mobile is striking back suddenly. So, looks like Computer getting knocked down to 56%. Still very much in the majority, however. Okay. The interesting thing is that I think that this poll favors the computer players, since the mobile players have to go away from the stream to even vote, and then come back.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
so that would likely keep them from doing the vote.
I know I definitely would not do it if I was watching on my phone.
Either way. Alright, so there we go. Joe gonna take a win in 1. Thanks so much for getting me Enchantress, Justin. That's not at all sarcastic. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to watch this deck. However, I will say thanks for letting us see a deck that is particularly unique here tonight.
I had no idea what they were playing, so you are very welcome.
Alright, let's head on up, have some fun, and I will see you there. That would be other Zach. And we'll see you here for getting ready for run 2. See you there. If you could do that.
Yes.
Hello, and thank you for joining. Justin is about to take off, but
I will be playing.
thank you so much for joining to all 60 of you that are here. It looks like it's a fairly busy stream, having some rough competition today, which I am totally okay with. But thank you for joining. My name's TJ, streaming out of Geek Fortress in Snohomish, Washington, as we head into a pretty heavy stream, I guess, weekend. I am going to be doing this tonight. I'm doing the modern one tomorrow. And I'm going to be doing Popper on Sunday. Goldfish, it's good to see you. So, we seem to be doing okay, all things considered. And maybe down the line we can definitely pick up as we keep going. Looks like someone watching a projector. That is pretty cool, actually. But remember to join us Sunday at noon. We are going to be doing a Popper tournament. It's going to be all kinds of fun, and I'm quite excited about it in general. It's going to be a good time. I've never had the opportunity to commentate it before, so we're going to be trying to work our way through it, and I'll be definitely learning kind of on the spot with some of the stuff. I know the format decently well.
He's out of water. Would you like a soda pop?
Surprise me. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, so we do got a little bit of a snack there, and if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button. We do stream 4 times a week within our regular schedule. Every Monday at 6:30, we play Standard Pacific Time. It's about 8:40 here, so 2 hours ago on Monday. You can join us for Standard. Every Wednesday and Saturday we have Modern. Wednesdays at 7, Saturdays at 6, and every Friday at 7:30 we have Legacy. The Scarlet Spud. Well, you know what? That is somewhat important nonetheless. So, I'm excited. Since I'm eating, I gotta dance a little bit. I didn't eat dinner. Sorry. There we go. We're gonna get through this. There we go. Moving forward, getting ready for round 2. Alright, what's so wrong about Chalice on 1, a Smokestack on 1, a Tangle Wire on 3, and Chronotalk giving your opponents infinite turns? Seems fine to me.
Do you want Eric or Josh or Ryan in that?
Eric and Josh, or Ryan and you?
No, oh yeah. No, so it can't be that. So
You.
it's Ryan.
Alright,
I will be on the stream.
cheers, mate. Can you face the wall just so I can start typing?
Sure.
Thank you! So, we're getting ready for round 2. Ninja Bora Wars. Looks like you are from Australia. That is awesome. Thank you so much for watching from Australia. I hope that you're enjoying the stream. I am basically doing some solo casting today, which actually is kind of fun for me. I do end up losing my voice sometimes by the end of it, just slightly, because I do end up talking for about 4 hours or more. But here is my basic request as we move forward today, is that because I am largely solo casting, any kind of assistance you can get as far as asking questions, providing comments, anything like that in the chat is always really helpful for me developing that dialogue, since I don't have someone next to me to talk to. And so any way that I can start developing that dialogue with you, as much, and don't get me wrong, interacting with all of you is the absolute best reason why we do this stream. This is the reason why we keep doing the stream, the reason why we're going to keep doing the stream, and the reason why we are going to apply for Twitch partnership again 2 weeks from now, so that we can keep doing this stream. It's because we want to interact with you, but on a night like tonight, it is especially important to me personally, because it gives me much more to talk about things that are interesting to you, because it's hard for me to have a back and forth dialogue with myself, because I do not have that color commentator at the moment.
There's also only 3 rounds tonight.
You got it. Alright, so we are going to be doing 3 rounds tonight, so a little bit of a shorter one. Possibly we can get some exhibition magic up at the end, anything in that kind of realm. We're going to make it a fun night regardless. We work through, we power through, and we always have a fantastic time. Looks like Tomcat and Dr. Derp watching from Texas. Hello to both of you. I'll be seeing you in Dallas in November. 13th Fox, it is going to be Sunday at noon. So let's head on down for round 2. See you there. Alright, so we're getting ready here. Ryan on Storm, a brand new player in that one, as he went down to Portland and basically traded his mud deck for it. Should be fairly sweet to happen. Goldfish, favorite legacy deck. Well, mine is Burn. Most people should be aware of that. However, if we're going to go non-Burn, because that always seems to be the obvious answer there, yes, noon Pacific time. But I'm going to guess that yours, your name is Goldfish, which means that likely you don't like interacting with your opponent. So I'm going to guess that it is High Tide. That's going to be my guess. Let me know if I am right or wrong. Otherwise, if I were to say what if I wasn't playing Burn, I really do like Shardless is really sweet. Otherwise, I like Infect a lot. Alright. Alright, Doro, I look forward to meeting you one day. I know you know my favorite legacy deck. What do I think is the best deck in the meta right now? Miracles. I think Miracles is absolutely the best one. High Tide is a good... Hey, I think that was a good guess. SSA00109A. Hello, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us again, and I look forward to interacting with you this evening. Favorite legacy deck is 4 Horsemen? Very nice, very nice. Okay. Just a fortnight. I'm gonna guess that you might be Justin. Or not Justin, Jason. I'm going to guess that you might be Jason. Alurin. Alurin is a very cool deck. I hope that you enjoy Joe's deck that happens. Okay, just call you Sam. Sam, it is good to see you. Thank you so much, and I will definitely start calling you Sam in the future. So we're going to take a look at a 7 here. Miracles versus Storm. Kind of interesting. If Justin is able to lock down this counterbalance combo early on, that is pretty good. Thank you very much, Jason. Mostly it's because you put in corn on the cob, which means that you're definitely with Zach and Alex. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Thoughts on Death and Taxes' new toys? They are sweet. I look forward to seeing it more in the future. A Ponder from Justin going up against Ryan's Underground Sea. I do see some pretty nice manipulation. Ryan looking at a hand that is fairly solid. Fellow Burn player in a budget, are there any cheaper alternatives to the 3 ensnaring bridges in the sideboard that's commonly played? Let me think on that one a little bit, and I will get back to you. Also, if you'd like, ask that question at Red Baron MTG to remind me if I end up missing. But that is definitely one that I could look into a little bit and think on it. I haven't really come across that question. I do know that there are some lists that just don't run it. That just don't choose not to run it, but if it's something that you feel like you need it in your particular meta, and it also does have to be budget, and that's going to be a pretty easy one there. Okay, so a Brainstorm from Ryan. With that fetch land available to him, he does have a Dark Petition in hand, he does have a Ritual in hand, and he's got, looks to be a Ponder. So, there we go. Sorry, gotta break that rule a little bit. Maybe I'll just order myself a sandwich to be delivered just one tabernacle away. That's actually really awesome, Tomcat. I'm glad that you are so close. I'm really excited to be down there in Dallas in November. Imbuement, what's the cheapest way to get into Legacy? Proxy it and play it with friends. Otherwise, you're probably looking at something like Burn is a good way to go about it. Merfolk is not bad. There's definitely some options, but Burn is probably the cheapest deck to go in there. Manaless Dredge is another one. Both decks, you know, different people like different decks. Yeah, I guess that's probably a different way to, certainly a way to go about it. Justin going for the Ponder. So this so far has just been a hand manipulation battle. We do have the counterbalance, a Brainstorm available, so Justin possibly looking at drawing into that one so that he can drop down a counterbalance. But it looks like he is going to keep that on top. Taking a look at it again, rearranging just a little bit. Interesting. The Scarlet Spud. That's a great recommendation. Meekstone, while not phenomenal, is a really solid suggestion, and will do significantly less overall, but I like where your head's at. Good thinking. Okay. So, looks like we are fetching on Ryan's side of the field. We're going to clear the top of the library, and we are going for a Volcanic Island. Tevin, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Otherwise, Quinlau, you're not entirely wrong. Also, just hello to Quinlau. I don't get to see you in the chat very often. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning and I'm just spacing on the name a little bit, welcome back. Sam, it's likely that I'll be running Burn, but that's not until November, so I am very much considering Infect and Affinity as well. And if I change my mind before then, there's always different options. The meta might change by then. But right now, I would likely be playing Burn. So we do have a Lion's Eye Diamond. We've got 2 Lotus Petals. That is going to get a hand. Double Infernal Tutor, which pretty much just the one is what you really need, but we're going to go for another Ritual here. So Ryan, casting that, he's going to have double Ritual. He's able to crack into the 2 Rituals, produce a ton of mana, and then drop down this Lion's Eye Diamond, have the ability to use this Infernal Tutor to dig for what you need. You do have plenty of Rituals in the graveyard. You do have plenty of this Disruption, and earlier down the line, we did see him put back that Dark Petition, and it looks like Justin, aware of what's about to happen, he's going to pick up the cards. Ryan taking a really commanding Game 1 win. Wow. Nice job, Ryan. Okay. So, what have we got? You have LED Dredge and Miracles, probably turning your extra blue duels into the Tabernacle. That's awesome. Very sweet. Mostly, I just have Burn for Legacy. I tend to play a lot more Modern, just because that's what I have access to as far as playing, and I like going to GPs, and it's a lot harder to go to the Legacy GPs. Though, that being said, I do really enjoy Legacy as a format. Hopefully I can play more of it in the future. Though the real big thing is here, let's all be honest, I don't play much Magic these days. Tomorrow, however, I'm going to play some Standard, interestingly enough. There's a local shop that is doing a Standard GPT for Dallas. So tomorrow, early afternoon, I'm going to go to that and try to win it before the Modern stream starts. We'll see how that goes. Or I just won't make the top 8 because my only experience with Standard is this last weekend at a GP. And maybe that'll be the way that it goes. We'll see. Wish me luck, everybody. Maybe I'll get some buys. Mm-hmm. 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 Alright, I apologize for the slight eating. Hopefully you are all enjoying the stream nonetheless. Hello to the 70 people here. My name is TJ. We're having an awesome night here. If you are brand new, always feel free to hit that follow button. It's down there or up there. And if you are brand new or within, let's say, first 10 streams. First 10 streams. 10 of them. Let's hold up 10 fingers. That way you can actually see them. If this is one of your first 10 streams here, toss it into that chat. I would love to welcome you by name. Welcome you to the community. And just I want to make sure that the people who are finding this stream and the people who are regulars and that everybody is fully aware that just... Well, what I want to make sure is that you all feel appreciated and like you are important to the stream. Because you 100% are. Okay. Jason? I know. Alright. Dr. Derp, yes you can as long as they're family friendly. If the meta is similar to the Invitational, you're probably going to go on Burn or Bant Eldrazi. Infect is in a rough spot at the moment, but there's a lot of time for that to change going forward. Imbuement, your name is Josh. Interesting. Okay. Good to know, Imbuement. Thank you very much. 13th Fox, it's good to see you. Nisnar, thank you so much for joining. It is your first time on the stream. Jason, while it is a brand new username, it is awesome having you too. I want to welcome you. Any questions, comments, feedback, constructive criticism. Basically everything is more than welcome in this. I love interacting with all of you. That is the favorite thing that I have about this stream. So thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to interacting with you in the future. Zach, you are always important. Sleeps? Sorry about that. But it was fun playtesting you. It was awesome meeting you. Alright. So, let's see here. Lathier, that counts. So, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining us for those first 6. And, man. Is Recruiter going to be going for more than Sanctum Prelate? That's also a really good one. I like that card a lot. So, heading into it, Justin gets to be on the play. And let's see what we can get. Zach, of course you are important. Prefer to watch Legacy on paper over MTGO? Hey, thank you! Thank you for enjoying watching the stream. I'm really enjoying... I love doing this. Down the line when I move, I might start doing some MTGO streaming on the off days, and it would just be me talking and having fun and doing some actual playing, which would be actually my way of practicing, and I figure why not turn a camera on while I do it. Hopefully, people would enjoy it. If they wouldn't, then I may not do it and just save the money. But hopefully people can at least enjoy my commentary over it to watch it, because I do know that a big draw to this one is the fact that it's paper Magic. Nisnar, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. You're a rock star. Let me know where you're watching from, what you like to play in Magic, and how you found us, whether it was just on the Twitch page, whether a friend recommended, whether you found us on Twitter, whether you found us on Facebook, Reddit, any other kind of source. Let us know what brought you here. Okay. So Cabal Therapy looks to be naming Counterbalance and taking that one out of the hand. Solid name by Ryan. Normally I see Cabal Therapy name Brainstorm, but naming the Counterbalance, the card that Ryan was worried about, not a bad way to go about it. So Justin looks to be going for a top at the upkeep, by the look of it. Oh no, okay, that... So at the upkeep, going for that one, we do get the other land. We do have a Brainstorm available, not fantastic as it currently sits, especially off of a singular red mana. Justin off to a really slow start right now. A Brainstorm from Ryan. Now we do have some land in hand. I do believe I just see an Infernal Tutor. We've got some of these petals, a Gitaxian Probe, so you can take a look at what Justin is working with. Ooh, a pirate set would be beautiful one day. I would love to have a pirate set one day. Pirates are awesome. I do have a pirate hat. I've been told occasionally that I look like a pirate. Is the timer broken? It's fixable. Thank you so much for the reminder. Just looking at the timer. What's the timer at?
37.
Thank you. Alright, let's get that timer up and running. It's going to be a good time. The best time. Look at that. I fixed it. I fixed it, everybody. Woo! I'm going to raise my hands and wave them around just a little bit. Zach, you are important. Now, we do have the Monastery Mentor in Justin's hand, and that's such an incredibly powerful card in these Legacy decks, and one of the things that's kind of... I mean, a lot of things have led up to it, certainly, but it is one of those cards that has really enabled their clock significantly better than it in the future, and I'll be curious to see what goes on with it, because that card has really pushed their ability to just increase the damage output tremendously. Ryan, it's good to see you again. Thank you so much for joining us over time. Now, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been around for a bit. I remember, because I think you were one of the first people who had that little battery next to their name. I rule the time. Hey, there we go. Can dig it. Okay. You've played Legacy pretty much exclusively. Burn, always good to see another Burn player. Happy that. Found on the Twitch page. Your Legacy friends are all busy tonight. Hey, thank you so much. Well, every single Friday at 7:30 we do this. We also do Standard every 6:30 Monday. And we do Modern every Wednesday at 7 and every Saturday at 6. Thoughts on running the basic mountain in Miracles? Justin is trying today, actually, Sean Hughes list, which is another streamer by the name of Lord of the Pit, if you've ever seen him, does like a Legacy stream. But I do believe that the basic mountain is a somewhat new inclusion. I think that it's fine as kind of a painless way to find things. Overall, I'm not sold on it, however. Now, me being me, I'm usually pretty excited to have it. And a Duress looks to be taking a look at that hand and nothing doing. My goodness. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Nisnar. It's going to be great, and I look forward to interacting with you more in the future. Sorry, Dr. Sean you. So Justin with 2 fetches at the moment. Another Gitaxian Probe happening on Ryan's side of the battlefield. Going to try and take another look and see what we've got. Monastery Mentor, Snapcaster Mage, Monastery Mentor, and a Force of Will. So, whoa, Ryan just chaining together these Gitaxian Probes. Whew, goodness gracious. So going down to 14, pretty much of his own doing at this point. Otherwise, you mean if Justin is able to find another top, that really enables the Monastery Mentor, and he finds the Counterbalance, so we might see him go for it, because he now has the ability to drop the Lord of the Pit. You are right, there was no Legacy last Friday. I had put some people in charge of the Friday stream while I was down in Portland, and it ended up falling through. And so we weren't able to do both a Friday and a Monday stream. I apologize. And I think just going forward on those GP weekends, there's one more this year, and next year there's going to be maybe 5, maybe 6. I think we're just going to stop streaming on those one weekend. I mean, 5 weekends a year I think we can miss out on. And it really saves me a lot of stress from finding people and following up with people and getting a lot of things like that. But that is 100% true, and I do apologize to everybody for that. That is my bad. But thank you. I assume that saying that I look like a pirate is a compliment. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Nonetheless, a Monster Mentor coming out. So Justin, I think more than anything, what this is really representing for Justin is pressure on Ryan, and that means that Ryan, just from that is out of context, Lord of the Pit. But Ryan no longer really has a whole lot of time to take, go with these detection probes and really fix his hand over time. He now is on a clock. There's a definitive timeline before he loses the game. And that's going to really force Ryan to take some action. And with Justin having both Force of Will and Counterspell available, that's going to be a great way to maybe prevent what Ryan is trying to do. The red is, I believe, for sideboard cards, or potential, basically, yeah, Power Blast, to my knowledge. Thanks, Tebin. I appreciate it. So, we get a Lion's Eye Diamond. And I love the idea right now of Justin really letting Ryan fire off this Lion's Eye Diamond and then using the Force of Will, even though Ryan is aware of it right now. Justin suddenly is just able to have the Force of Will and the Counterspell as this kind of double backup against what Ryan is trying to develop right now. Lord of the Pit, Chase In-Your-Face Hansen does occasionally jump into this stream. Phenomenal Reanimator player. And top forward at GPC Tech. Lotus Petal coming down. We are at a storm count of 3 as it currently sits, as we're keeping track of that one. Up to 4. And with a Dark Ritual, up in the mana just a bit, and I'll be curious to see what we end up with here. Okay. Oh, fantastic. So, our Counterspell looks to be going for that one. Interesting. Interesting. You heard he plays... No, that's Joe that plays Corrupt Court Official. That would be Joe. Looking at... Wow, there's that double Snapcaster in a land? Nice. Very good. Very good. So, Justin, gonna go down to 18. Gonna produce a Monk, which is gonna help accelerate this board just a little bit more. And Ryan, without this Dark Ritual, does have the ability to produce some mana as it currently sits. Decades where can you find the deck we came up with? Was it Burn for Standard? Slowly Crashing, can you provide the assist on the deck list that we played at GP Portland? It was a sweet one, though I'm working on picking up the pieces before tomorrow for the changes that we made after playing, a collective... oh my goodness, how many rounds did we play overall yesterday, or over the weekend? What, 41? 51? After about 51 rounds, about 50 rounds of testing, we ended up coming up with some changes that we wanted to make. So, more of these tokens coming down. Ryan still with a Lion's Eye Diamond and a Lotus Petal. And Justin with a lot of mana, 2 Monk tokens, a Sensei's Divining Top, and a Monastery Mentor, which is going to be swinging for 4 this turn, knocking Ryan down to 7. One interesting thing is that every time that he goes for this... Now, granted, Ryan has a lot of outs beyond it, but as a deck that is could be running the Ad Nauseam itself becomes significantly less effective as you kind of keep knocking down that life total. And so if that's what his main thought as far as an out goes, it's not going to be super effective. He's not going to at least be able to take a whole lot of risks. It's still going to, don't get me wrong, it's going to be 5 mana draw. Oh, I don't know, 6, something like that once you start including lands and Lotus Petals and things like that, but still, it is going to somewhat inhibit the card. There's no such thing as Unwarped from the Vault foils. Kind of. Alright, and that is going to be a win. Very nice. Alright. So, we're getting ready for Game 3. Miracle's taking that one down with the Monastery Mentor on the back of that with a lot of counter magic, keeping Ryan off of his game plan. Look at that. Decade Zerg, that is the standard deck that we ended up playing at GP Portland. It was a lot of fun to play. It definitely was a little bit unrefined. And big ups, big ups to Slowly Crashing Coleman. Hey, Vexcellence, thank you so much for hitting that follow button and joining us here. If it is your first time, let me know. And I'd love to give you just a hearty welcome in the chat. But let me know where you're watching from, how you found this Twitch stream, and what you like to play in Magic. But Slowly Crashing definitely gets a lot of credit because he put more hours and playtesting into that deck than pretty much anywhere else. Lord of the Pit 23, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's good having ya. Tevin, have a good evening. Thank you so much for being a phenomenal mod, and I will take this moment to say thank you to all of the mods in the chat at all times. While this is possibly one of the best Twitch chats that I've ever encountered, and you are all phenomenal and amazing and so supportive and helpful, I do want to just thank you all for that, but also just thank you to the mods who are able to do a phenomenal job of driving some of the conversation, helping out with all those links, and really just doing the small amount of regulation that's needed. Lord of the Pit, I'm fairly certain that you know my name. But I think Dr. Sean Yu is fully aware. Not entirely sure, however. Not entirely sure. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. So, maybe the harmless pact board? Yes, absolutely. You want to? But no, the card is not good in burn. So Catastrophe, we have got 2 Brainstorms, 2 Force of Will, a Ponder, a Land, and a Snapcaster. Wow. That is quite the hand. Question. Why am I Chris Cornell? I couldn't tell you there. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure how I became Chris Cornell there, but have I considered Fevered Burn? Yes, ours is faster. That deck is likely better, but ours is faster. And it had a pretty solid matchup against that deck. Really excellent matchup, actually. Okay. There is no comp. It does cost 4, however. And that is a lot of mana in Burn. So, but yeah, we did consider Fevered Burn. And we liked it conceptually. And it's definitely not a bad deck. That deck is super sweet. But ours is definitely way more in my realm of comfort. So, Justin with a Ponder, using that Force of Will to take down the Xanthid Swarm from Ryan. Thoughts on Thermo Alchemist in Pop or Burn? Oh, I don't quite get that reference, Slowly Crashing, I'm sorry. But, I like it. I would probably test it over the Keldon Marauders. I don't like running a ton of creatures because there's so much spot removal in Popper and kind of going around that. The big problem, of course, in that vein is that there is so much spot removal. If you untap with the Thermo Alchemist, you likely win. The big problem is that, do you untap with it, or are you spending 2 mana? At least the Keldon Marauder is guaranteed damage. It does require some testing. I could also see maybe running it over the Flame Rifts, but even that, I actually really enjoy the Flame Rift. And we have an Aethersworn Canonist coming down for Justin. Whew. That is fantastic. I have not watched any of the recent James Bond movies since Casino Royale. So, the Aethersworn Canonist, phenomenal card in this situation. So, it is a 2/2 for 2 artifact creature, 1 and a white. Each player who has cast a non-artifact this spell can't cast additional non-artifact spells. Relevantly, Ryan does run Lion's Eye Diamond, which he was able to cast and then continue casting from that point forward. Now, Justin gonna lose this Aethersworn Canonist 2 in Abrupt Decay. Ryan gonna fetch in response. Lord of the Pit, thank you so much for loving the stream. I'm glad you enjoy it. Now, this is me legitimately asking in the vein of always working to continually improve this stream. But, Lord of the Pit, Mr. Dr. Sean Yu, let me just ask you a quick question. what is it like? Could you potentially name one, like, what is the thing that you look to see it develop? Like, either the one thing that we could work on, or the biggest thing that we need to really capture and continue to develop. So maybe you like the interaction. Great. We will work our absolute hardest to never lose that fact about us, because